Welcome back to the This Old Baker podcast. I'm Kim, and today we're talking about one of the simplest summer traditions I can think of, refrigerator tea. It's inexpensive, easy to make, tastes wonderful, and it's one of those old-fashioned kitchen habits that deserves a place in today's busy world. If you grew up spending summers at Grandma's house, visited relatives in the South, or remember life before convenience drinks took over the grocery store shelves, there's a good chance you've had some version of homemade iced tea. But today we're going to talk about a method that's simple, practical, and one I think deserves a little more attention. Refrigerator tea. So what exactly is refrigerator tea? Unlike traditional iced tea that's brewed with boiling water and then chilled, refrigerator tea is made by placing tea bags in cold water and letting them slowly steep in the refrigerator. That's it. No boiling water. No heating up the kitchen. No standing over the stove. Just tea bags, water, a pitcher, and a little patience. You place everything in the refrigerator and let time do the work. Several hours later, you have smooth, refreshing tea waiting for you. Now, some of you may be thinking, isn't that just sun tea? Not exactly. Sun tea was incredibly popular for years. You simply filled a large jar with water, added tea bags, and let it sit outside in the sunshine for several hours. Many of us grew up seeing jars of tea sitting on porches, patios, and picnic tables all summer long. It sounds harmless, but over the years, food safety experts have raised concerns about sun tea because the water may sit for long periods in temperatures that aren't consistently hot enough to prevent bacterial growth. The tea isn't actually being boiled, and it isn't staying fully refrigerated. It spends hours in that in-between temperature range where unwanted bacteria can potentially multiply. The risk is generally low, but it's still a risk. That's one reason many people have switched to refrigerator tea. You get the same slow steeped flavor, the same refreshing taste, the same easy preparation, but the tea remains safely chilled the entire time. No guessing. No worrying about how hot the sun is today. No wondering if it sat outside a little too long. Just a pitcher in the refrigerator doing what it does best. It's one of those situations where the modern version keeps everything we love about the old method while removing some of the potential concerns. And honestly, when the end result tastes this good, that's a pretty easy trade. One of the biggest benefits of refrigerator tea is the flavor. Cold brewing tea tends to produce a smoother, milder taste. There's less bitterness, less sharpness, less of that strong tannin flavor that some people don't care for. Instead, you get a clean, refreshing tea that's easy to drink. Even people who normally say they don't like tea often find refrigerator tea much more enjoyable. It's gentle, it's smooth, and it's perfect for hot summer afternoons. Another reason I love refrigerator tea is convenience. Let's face it, life gets busy. Sometimes even boiling water feels like one more task on a never-ending list. With refrigerator tea, you can make it before bed or first thing in the morning. And forget about it while you're working, running errands, tending the garden, or enjoying a little quiet time. Your tea is doing all the work. No timers, no monitoring, no heating up the house. And here in Florida, anything that keeps extra heat out of the kitchen during summer is a win. Then there's the cost. Have you looked at the price of bottled drinks lately? Sweet tea, flavored tea, sports drinks, lemonades, flavored waters, the costs add up quickly. A simple box of tea bags can make gallon after gallon for just pennies per serving. When you're feeding a family, hosting guests, or simply trying to make your grocery budget stretch a little farther, those savings matter. Homemade almost always wins when it comes to value. Another thing I appreciate about refrigerator tea is how customizable it is. You can make it exactly the way your family likes it. Prefer black tea? Perfect. Green tea, go for it. Herbal tea? That works too. Want to add fresh mint from the garden? Wonderful. A few slices of lemon, orange, peach, or even cucumber can completely change the flavor. It's less of a recipe and more of a starting point. You can make it your own. Let's talk about sugar for a moment. One of the biggest advantages of making your own tea is that you're in control. If you enjoy unsweetened tea, leave it unsweetened. If you like a little sweetness, add just enough to suit your taste. If you're watching your sugar intake, you can use your preferred sweetener or skip it entirely. You're not stuck with whatever a manufacturer decided should go into the bottle. That flexibility is something I think many of us appreciate these days. And honestly, there's something satisfying about making your own drinks. We talk a lot around here about making homemade seasoning mixes, coffee mixes, soup mixes, baking mixes, and pantry staples. Why not beverages too? Every homemade thing adds a little independence, a little confidence, a little self-reliance, and over time, those small choices add up. Refrigerator tea also fits beautifully into a simpler lifestyle. You don't need expensive gadgets. You don't need specialty ingredients. You don't need a complicated process. You need water, tea bags, a pitcher, and a refrigerator. That's it. Sometimes I think we've forgotten how refreshing simplicity can be. We're constantly being told we need more products, more equipment, more shortcuts, more convenience. Yet some of the best things in life remain wonderfully simple. That's probably why refrigerator tea has stood the test of time. It's practical, it's affordable, and it works. It's just like many of the kitchen skills our parents and grandparents used every day. One thing I've noticed lately is that people seem to be returning to many of those traditional skills. They're learning to bake bread, growing vegetables, making homemade soups, mixing their own pantry staples, preserving food, and rediscovering the value of doing things themselves. Refrigerator tea fits right into that movement. It's not complicated and it's not trendy. It's simply a good idea that's been around for a very long time. If you've never made refrigerator tea before, start simple. Fill a pitcher with cold water. Add several tea bags. Place it in the refrigerator overnight. The next day, give it a taste. Maybe you like it stronger. Maybe you prefer it lighter. Adjust until it's exactly how you like it. That's part of the fun. And don't be afraid to experiment. Try fresh mint. Try peaches. Try lemon and orange together. Maybe even a few berries. Some combinations will become family favorites. Others, well, let's just say not every kitchen experiment becomes a masterpiece. But that's part of the adventure. At the end of the day, refrigerator tea isn't really just about tea. It's about slowing down, using what you already have, saving a little money, avoiding unnecessary ingredients, and appreciating simple things. The old-fashioned habits often stick around because they make sense. This is one of them. So the next time you're walking through the grocery store and looking at rows and rows of expensive bottled drinks, consider grabbing a box of tea bags instead, and your budget will appreciate it. Your refrigerator will stay stocked, and you might just discover a summer tradition worth keeping. Thank you so much for spending a few minutes with me today. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to follow the podcast so you don't miss future conversations about old-fashioned cooking, pantry wisdom, simple living, and practical kitchen know-how. Until next time, keep cooking, keep learning, and keep making life a little simpler. One recipe at a time.